You're listening to the 412 podcast from FBC Mustang in Mustang, Oklahoma, where we take you behind the scenes as we equip the saints for the work of the ministry. I'm Jeremy Davis, your host. Let's get started. What is it that you're looking forward to the most?
Great chance to get to know people better.
It is an absolute madhouse.
I try to find a place with good salads.
So 3 sermons a day.
I never did youth ministry, mainly because I'm scared.
It feels good up here.
We run to the woods thinking, Lord, take my life. I'm done.
Often how I prepare my own heart. I'm looking and reading and thinking.
We had students in the room, 6th through 12th graders, singing at the top of their lungs the doxology.
The engine that is pulling the train should be truth.
I like it.
I like it too.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of the 412 podcast. We're so glad that you are tuning in and chosen to join us here today. We are continuing our series of behind the scenes with our pastors and their wives. And today we have our executive pastor, Jeff LeDuc, and his wife, Shawnna. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Jeff was just pointing out that it's been a while since he's been on the show. So my public apology that you have not been on the show in a while.
You are forgiven. I accept that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, this is an episode all about you guys, and we're going to learn a little bit more about you, and hopefully this gives new members and members, longtime members alike, just kind of an insight of your world and help them get to know you guys a little bit more. So why don't we start at the beginning? Where did you guys meet? How'd you get to know each other? All those things.
So I have lived in Oklahoma City my whole life. I grew up here. Obviously, Jeff came from Boston. He came for school and needed a summer job, so I worked for the YMCA, was in charge of their childcare, their day camps for the summer, and he came and applied and worked for me at the YMCA.
And I've been working for her ever since.
I was going to say a really sweet story about him, but not sure now.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
What's the sweet story?
When he came in, I do group interviews for the summer because it was hiring about 15 to 20 people, so it would take a long time. And he was already sitting in some chairs waiting for his turn, and a girl came in, and he got up and let her sit down in the chair. And I said to my best friend, if I don't hire him, I would like to go out with him.
There you go.
See that? I'm free to go in and give dating advice to the college ministry.
All right, good.
So
yeah.
Crossroads.
Yeah.
Just let a girl sit in the seat and you stand up.
There you go.
And you might end up with a wife.
There you go. That's good. Yeah, and that surprises me. You're so courteous being from Boston.
Yeah, well, I'll let that go right now. I want to be invited back.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeff, what brought you from Boston to here?
Yeah, So I was born in the Catholic Church, and so I tell people I'm a denominational mutt. So my parents were in the Catholic Church. I was born in the Catholic Church, and then my parents were saved as young adults, and we started attending the strongest Protestant church around was an Assembly of God church. And through my time there, I was actually felt like the Lord was leading toward ministry. I was looking at a school in Florida, and then just wrestled with a lot of doctrinal issues, and then decided I wasn't going to pursue ministry in the Assembly of God, which then the doors opened through a series of events toward Mid-America. At the time was Mid-America Bible College, so it wasn't a Christian university yet, and that's what brought me to Oklahoma.
Very cool. And fun fact, we went to the same college. It was a university when I went, though.
Yes, we had grown quite a bit.
Yeah, many years later. Many years later.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so you meet at the YMCA. You're working for Shawnna. How does the dating relationship start? How's it all kind of get going?
Well, there was a group of us that were friends. I think there were 5 of us. So Shawna's best friend, who also worked at the YMCA, another lady there that she had grown up with. And then there were 3 guys. 2 of us were at Mid-America, and another one of our buddies that didn't go to Mid-America, but we all lived together. And so there were 5 of us that just hung out all the time and did things together, and Shawnna and I definitely clicked, and we started dating that fall, right? Yeah, in the fall of that year, which would have been 1994 is when we started dating, and then we were married in August 1995. So we just celebrated 30 years of marriage together.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
And it's very surprising that we got there because when that year at the fair in 94, he was going to the fair with a group of friends from school. And so I got my best friend and I said, let's go. Let's try to find him before we started dating. But we were talking, per se.
Yes.
And we finally run into him, and he introduces me to his friends as his boss.
See, so I can share with Crossroads Ministry what to do and what not to do.
There you
And
go.
I read her face when I said it, and I was like, oh, wow, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I am in trouble now. So, yeah, she still repeats that story.
Oh, that's hilarious. And you still introduce her as your boss, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I was introduced to her.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so 30 years later, you've got 3 kids and some grandkids. Tell us about your family.
We do. We have 3 kids. Allie and Ashton is her husband. They have 2 kids, Bo and Cord. And then Colin and Jocelyn. Allie and Ashton go to church here with us. But Colin and Jocelyn live in Piedmont, and they go to First Baptist Piedmont. And they are expecting our 3rd grandbaby, a little boy, in April. And then we have our surprise baby, Kinley. And she is here active in the youth.
Okay, very
13.
And she's 13,
and a half. or
good.
so.
13 and a half.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she was born in January, so she'll be 14 in January.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we are old parents. We kind of we span the generations.
Yeah, we were in a staff meeting just recently, and Michael was talking about the grandparents in the room, and then those that still have kids at home in the room, and there were 2 definitive groups. Because nobody who has grandkids also has kids at home except for the LeDucs. About halfway through, he stopped and said, "Oh, wait a second. I just realized, Jeff, you're in both groups."
Yes, yes. We try to cover all ministry areas within the church.
Yeah. How often does Kinley get forgotten about?
Oh, I wouldn't say that she gets forgotten about. We haven't left her anywhere that I
that's
can
good.
remember.
That's
but
good.
So a lot of times on the family group text, we'll have to remind everybody, Kinley's in this group text.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
not that it's inappropriate,
No,
but maybe
but
not
just-
for a 13
13-year-old.
and a half year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That's funny. The dynamics of the family shift, but
Right.
what a great thing to have built in as a babysitter, and what a fun aunt
Yes.
for your grandkids. That's so cool. I had an uncle that was the youngest of my mom's siblings, and he was in high school when I was born, and we always had a close relationship when I was young. Because he was so much younger than my mom and her sister, and for all those reasons, he was the fun one. So
Well, we always say that Kinley acts a lot older than she is because essentially she had 4 parents growing up because her older sister and older brother to parent her as well.
So that's so true, because multiple times when I've interacted with her, I forget how young she is.
Yes.
And I always want to put her like in high school,
Right.
way before she should be. And so I could see that. Okay, so talk about ministry here in the church. What are some ministries that you've gotten to be a part of together, in ways that you're able to serve together?
Well, I serve in the capacity of executive pastor, and so you have a lot of plates that are spinning in the air. So there's a lot of different areas that I oversee. And so right now, the most current ministry that we're involved in together would be an adult Sunday school class, which is pretty fun. The Sojourners class. And the reason I say it's pretty fun is that brings us back to our roots, that before I was in full-time ministry at Southern Hills, we served as adult Sunday school. I was the adult Sunday school teacher, and Shawnna was in there helping organize and communicate, and with fellowships and just ministry, especially ministry to women within the class. And so it's been a long time since we've done that. And so now we've been in there about a year and a half since we started the class, and we're just having a lot of fun with that.
Yep.
But I would say really what happens behind the scenes, once again, at the time of this recording, is a very busy week for me, and just had a lot of different things get added that got added to my plate this week that I didn't see coming. And so my default always is I'll text Shawnna and say, hey, pray for me. A lot going on, and just the encouragement. One, I know she's going to pray, but then two, it's what I tell couples in premarital counseling: your greatest cheerleader should be your spouse. And that truly is the case with Shawnna, is that she is an incredible encourager, and reminds me of truth from the Word of God, and to go to the Lord, but that she's praying as well. So she really is a backbone of all the ministry that the Lord's allowed me to be a part of here in the church.
Yeah.
Honey, do you want to share just different, before you were serving in the adult Sunday school, you served?
I was on the women's council, I guess is what they call it. And then also I served in the children's for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and it's not uncommon to see Shawnna behind the scenes working at all kinds of different things going on. There's always things she's helping set up, or you come around a corner and there she is pushing a cart, getting something together ready. And I can attest from my point of view, just the conversations that I've had with Jeff. It's clear you guys have a good marriage, that you are each other's best friends, and that you do enjoy spending time together. And it's really cool to hear from a guy who is, I know we joke about you being older than me, but you are older than me.
I am.
Ahead of me in life. But to hear from somebody that is ahead of me, the way he still loves and cares about his wife, and not just you, but his whole family. And for some reason, I usually get kicked out of the office when the grandkids come walking in. So.
Yeah.
for some reason, I don't know. I feel like I should rank higher than that. But I clearly don't.
Everything stops when Bo comes around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And Bo does not know a stranger, so he usually
doesn't.
calls everyone by name. But even this morning when he said, "Come on, Poppy," I immediately, with other people around, like, "See ya. I'm out of here." So
there you go. That's excellent. Okay, and so for years you guys have served together. You've been in multiple churches. Kind of a connection between our families is that you're South Oklahoma City people.
Yes.
My wife and all of her family, they're South Oklahoma City people. So kind of where have you guys come from? How did you end up coming to First Mustang?
Shawnna was born and raised, as she said, in South Oklahoma City, graduated from Grant High School, then went to UCO, graduated from UCO in Edmond. But her family, she has a sister, brother-in-law. We have a niece and nephew, and then, of course, they're married and have kids now, too. And so the family's grown. But she is a lifelong South Oklahoma City girl. And then, of course, Mid-America was there in South Oklahoma City. And so, but then we served at Southern Hills Baptist Church. We were actually there in the church from 2000 to 2012. So for 12 years, we lived South Side. We served on the South Side of Oklahoma City, have a lot of common points of connection with Chelsea and you from people that live in that area of town. But what really brought us over here to First Mustang, obviously the Lord, but it was through a connection that I was Pastor Michael's brother, Scott's adult Sunday school teacher.
Okay.
And we would have fellowships at their house, and Michael and Marcy were there at one of the fellowships. And he and I struck up conversation, and then that started a friendship and a similar philosophy of ministry, and hold doctrinally to the same set of doctrinal beliefs. And so when he called while I was serving there and mentioned that Ryan Ingold, who used to serve here as associate pastor, was leaving, and he called and asked me if I knew of anyone that or had any names. And I just, again, it was not an audible voice, but as he said it, I was thinking, wow, this could be me. And so I went home, and Shawnna and I talked about it, and started praying, obviously, and just then met with Michael, had more conversations, and then we ended up, Shawnna had Kinley January 9th of 2012, and then we came in view of a call on April 1st of 2012, which people still remind me was really just an April Fool's joke. And so, and then we started here May 1st of 2012.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. It's just hit me. I know you've told me that story before, but I gave my life to Christ on April 1st, 2012.
Wow.
How weird is that?
That is. Man.
Very strange.
Praise
Okay.
the Lord.
That's an interesting connection too. There you
Yes.
go. Right here, live on the podcast, figuring this out. Very good. Okay, so over the years, you've been here how many years now?
So we are in we started in 12, so we're in our 13 and a half years, I guess.
13 and a half, okay.
Yeah.
So how have you seen the church change over these years?
Yeah, I would say we have grown not only numerically, but more importantly in spiritual maturity. I've seen that growth just over the years of serving here. When Michael says that this is a wonderful place to serve and where you do tough ministry, but you love it, it really is the work of the Word that the Lord uses in His people, and the people who are here, just their growth in Christ is truly amazing. And so having been here now, for 13 and a half years, you get to see people that were in youth group or children's, and then they were in youth group and then in college ministry, and now they're in young adults and getting married and having kids. I mean, it truly is amazing to see the generations. And but I would say the maturity, the spiritual maturity of the church is what I've seen the most.
So we've seen the church grow quite a bit in spiritual maturity, but what's something that it really excites you about the life of our church right now?
I would say the ministry that we have to young families it represents the community, in that if you drive through Mustang, obviously it's changed drastically even over the last 5 to 7 years,
Right.
with more and more farmland that's now neighborhoods.
Yep.
And so that's brought in a lot of young families, and seeing young families come into the church. Our preschool ministry is exploding, which then our children's ministry, our youth ministry. I think for Shawnna and I, that the excitement we have with our youth ministry, because our child, our youngest is in the youth group, and we're thankful for Joey and his leadership, and Kashawn and Hadley. But then knowing that we've had our kids, our older kids, that now are having kids like Bo and Cord that are in preschool, and what awaits them in children's. I mean, all of that excites us. But for me, seeing the amount of young families coming into the church is so encouraging, because people aren't waiting anymore till, we have a crisis, or I'm going to wait till my kids get a little bit older. We have so many families that they don't have any kids, and then moms are getting pregnant, and then they're beginning their families, but they're already here and they're a part of the church, and so that excites me.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. And just the mom's ministry, that is a great ministry that's going on the first Monday of every month. And so many moms that come with their kids and are able to connect with each other is great. And it's just a nice to see and want our kids to be here with us as adults, and to raise their kids here is very encouraging.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really neat for me to watch, and not just because you're a pastor and leading in ministry here, but just because you are somebody that's ahead of me in life, is the way that your family enjoys being together. I think that's a really cool testimony, just to you guys and the way you've lived your life, the way you've raised them. But that's kind of a hope I have for my kids. Like, I hope they want to come hang out with us one of these days when they've grown up and moved out. But even watching as Colin was wrestling with, they've moved up to Piedmont. Do they keep driving down here to go to church?
Right.
But the priority was always on the church,
Right.
and like where they needed to be in church.
Yes.
And I loved just hearing the feedback from you that, okay, they've gone to First Piedmont, which we would wholeheartedly endorse. They're a great church and a great group to be a part of. And we've shared some church members back and forth. And in fact, I just saw at Mom's group that Shawnna was talking about, a Piedmont member was here for Mom's group, and I actually performed their wedding when they were still here and all of that. But I just love knowing that your kids care about the church, they're invested in the church, and then they love being with you guys, love being together as a family.
And I would say, Jeremy, I want to give a shout out here to Shawnna, because she is very intentional about making sure our home is a place that they want to gather, that not only providing a meal, and she does an incredible job of cooking meals, but even just being intentional with inviting them. Even last night she made chili, and it's a Monday night. Our normal routine is typically Friday nights and then Sunday right after church where everyone's over. And she said, I know it's a Monday night, but you guys are invited, made chili. And so some of them did come over and were a part of that. Mm-hmm. And so she does a great job of just being an organizer within our home and our family. And I'm thankful for her and her ministry to our family.
Yeah, that's really neat. Okay, so what are some hobbies and some things that you guys enjoy doing together?
We just went over it, our family.
There you go.
No, we are very sports oriented. Okay. There's always sports on the TV. When the two older kids were younger, they were involved in sports the whole time. Mm-hmm. So right now we're kind of on a hiatus. Kinley is not a sports girl, but it's always sports.
Yeah.
I would say one thing, two things that we enjoy is we enjoy cycling now. So a lot of times on Fridays, that's my day off, and I try to guard that time specifically for my time with Shawnna, and we'll go up to Lake Hefner and we'll ride around Hefner. So we've got the hybrid bikes. So we're not road bikes like doing 50 miles, but we'll do 10 to 13 miles and on the trails. So we enjoy doing that together. And if it's too windy out, we'll a lot of times walk across the street at Wild Horse. And it's always a sweet time because it's just the two of us. So I've noticed that one of the joys of even just spending time together is even if we're driving up to Lake Hefner to ride, or if we're walking around Wild Horse, sometimes we're not even talking. Mm-hmm. Like, we've exhausted our conversation, but we're just there together. Yeah. We're enjoying each other. And that to me is so life-giving. And by that, I mean, obviously, I know life comes from the Lord, but it's an encouragement. It puts wind in my sails. Right. So I enjoy that time together.
That's excellent. I love it. Okay, so what's something that excites you about just the future, things to come, something that may be on the horizon? What's just an exciting thing you guys are looking forward to?
April. New grandbaby.
There you go.
Yeah, April 22nd, I think, is around the due date.
It's another boy.
Yes.
So we are going to be crazy.
Another boy. There you go.
We're already crazy with the one that's active. I don't know.
I would say Bo is very, very active, and where Cord is still kind of newborn stage, but his expressions now. So we're doing the crazy grandparent talk to them just to get a smile and a reaction. But Bo is just at that age of he runs everywhere. He's just an Energizer bunny, and he just received his first stitches. And so last weekend they were back with his other grandmother in Vian, where Ashton was born and raised, and he was out playing outside and ran and hit a rock with his head, and so got 3 stitches above his eyebrow. So he's got a badge of honor now there. And so, but yes, I would say our family, as it continues to grow, does excite us. And I would say even just the ministry that is here, for both Michael and I, as we're in our 50s now, you do begin to see that there's a lot more ministry that you're investing in the younger guys and the younger women for Shawnna, with younger women in the church that have the energy, that have the vision and the drive, and not that that's gone from us just in our 50s, but you begin to see in yourself a change of, I'm no longer the young guy, I'm an older guy. And so passing on to the next generation, and that is exciting. I mean, that's been a great part, to be a mentor to others. And I hope, Lord willing, that we have 25 more years serving here and just seeing the Lord do a work through us.
Yeah, very cool. So speaking of passing on to the next generation, when is it that you deem them Boston fans? How does that? Because I know Bo's already been to a Bruins game.
Yes,
And so how's the passing along occur at your house?
That happens 9 months before they were born.
Okay. There
Yeah,
you go.
they're I'm talking to them. They know. They know. And my garage, of course, is kind of my man cave in the sense of it has all the Boston sports. And the only thing I kept from my Catholic roots is a football team. And so I'm a diehard Irish fan.
There you go.
And so my family knows that that's what we do. We're Boston sports fans because that's truly the city of champions. Everyone knows that. I mean, just look at the record.
Oh my.
Honey, would you want to add to that?
No.
We start reading about Wally, who's the
Yes.
mascot. So we have a book that we read very, very early to them on it's Hello Wally. And I usually I read with emphasis. So it's always Hello Wally. And so I'll read it with my Boston accent too. And so there.
But Bo and Cord both have a father that roots for other teams.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about that. We're praying for his repentance.
Yeah,
And so,
me too.
Yeah. Actually, I told Ashton he's been a diehard Cowboys fan, and he's been so frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys that he said this year, that's it, I'm done. I'm rooting for the Ravens. And the Ravens have been horrible. So I told him, you cannot root for any Boston teams.
you're not
Like, do
allowed.
not. And I said, actually, go out and get a Patrick Mahomes jersey. Please start rooting for Kansas City so they'll start losing.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, the Giants are already bad, so he can come hop on the New York train if he wants to. So I'm sure he'll do that.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here and taking time to record this episode so our church can get to know you guys better. And I want to thank our church members and those listeners for joining us once again on the 412 podcast. Until next time, we'll see you.
This podcast is made possible by the members of First Baptist Mustang. This podcast is produced by John Osmus, our Director of Media, artwork by Olivia Travis, Director of Communications, and music by Pastor John Brewer, Worship Pastor here at FBC Mustang. For more information about First Baptist Church in Mustang, you can go to fbcmustang.org. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the 412 Podcast.